the outcome of triple class refractory myeloma patients, those who had failed to proteasome inhibitors, immunomodulatory drugs, and CD38 is very poor, with median progression-free survival of approximately 3-4 months. Therefore, we need new targets for this patient, and one of these is the BCMA antigen. Here we are going to discuss about Idecabtagene, a BCMA-directed CAR T cell therapy that has been tested in a phase 1 with 33 patients and showed very promising results. In the current study, a total of 128 patients had been included at 3 different doses, 150, 300, and 450 million cells. These patients were heavily pretreated. There were clearly refractory patients. They have high tumor burden. They have 39% of the patient extramedullary disease. 35% of the patient had high-risk cytogenetics. 84% of the patients were triple refractory, 26% double refractory. And interestingly, the vast majority of these patients, 88%, required bridging therapy before the CAR T cell infusion, indicating the aggressiveness of the disease, and only 4% of the patients responded. What was the results in these patients? The overall response rate was 73%, including 1/3 of the patient achieving a complete response. And when you analyze the response at the maximum dose, 450, the response rate increased to 82%, and almost 40% achieve a complete response. Duration response was 10.7 months for the global series of patients. What about the progression-free survival? The progression-free survival for the total series of the 128 patients was 8.8 months, but increased to 12.1 months in those patients receiving 450 million. And interestingly, also, the depth of response correlated with progression-free survival. In patients that achieved a complete response, the progression-free survival was 20 months. Overall survival is premature, and most of the patients are still alive. Regarding the safety profile, I think treatment was really well tolerated. CRS grade 3 neurotoxicity were observed in less than 6% of the patients at the maximum dose of 450 million. 2/3 of the patients required tocilizumab, 22% of the patients required corticosteroids. The most common side effect was neutropenia and thrombocytopenia that required between 2 to 3 months to recover. Only 5 deaths were observed within the first period of treatment, and 2 of them were attributed to myeloma progression, and only 1 to CRS. Therefore, I think we can say in summary that we have now a new standard of care for patients triple refractory, myeloma patients triple refractory, that can benefit from a CAR T that is associated with a good safety profile and high efficacy. More than 80% of the patients will respond. A high proportion of these patients will achieve a complete response. Complete response is associated with over 20 months progression-free survival. Therefore, I think we can congratulate all doctors and patients and family for this new opportunity.